Hi guys, today we're talking about headshots. So, headshots. We all need them. As an actor, they're one of the first things that you need. They're one of the most important things you need. You're going to need your face everywhere, although the body shot is also becoming just as important in the modern era. But the headshot is still the holy grail of an actor's portfolio. And it's a great way to look fabulous and get fabulous roles and fabulous productions. Also, it's a good way to get diverse roles, depending on the quality of the headshots. So, first of all, with headshots, the most important part of the face and of your head is your eyes. You want to be able to convey all the things that you want: sexual availability, friendliness, lovability, empathy, compassion, humanity, and also psychopathy in a way. You also want to be able to portray a whole range of things. So it's really communicating that through the eyes. And that's the most important thing. You'll hear that all the time, even on film sets. Not so much in theatre or in plays, but even in film, it's all through the eyes. So doing your headshots is a good way to practice that. Telling stories through the eyes, not saying anything but saying anything, and quite often, what I like to do with an inner monologue, what I'm saying with my eyes when I'm getting my portraits taken, I like to repeat the word "why," and because that gives off an elusiveness and an ambiguity, and also a whole lot of other little nuances that are important. So I'll just repeat why over in my head, and I'll just show you how that comes out. So you can just see the eyes. They have so many different elements. Just using the simple thing at why. So eyes. Now, if the two most successful eye colors in the industry are blue and green, they're the most alluring, according to the industry. So if you don't have blue or green eyes, I'd suggest getting contacts and just giving off the impression that you do have blue or green eyes, and if you get a role based on your eye color, you can always go and pick those contacts up, and no one will never know the difference. But it's really important to have that option. So eye color, the first really important thing. The next thing is what clothes to wear before you go and get your portrait taken. You're gonna need your blue shirts, and your black shirts. And blue and black are the two important things. So you're going to need a whole range of t-shirts and singlets, that is, and you're going to need a whole range of those. I would steer away from white, because the photographer is going to want to illuminate your face, depending on your skin color, obviously, but they're going to want to brighten your face, really enhance that color to a bright, piercing white. So if you're wearing white, the contrast gets a bit confusing, so it's best not to use white. Occasionally red, although we won't go into that now. Bring along a red something and see how that goes on the day. But so blues and blacks, very important. You're also going to need your token brown singlet and your token green singlet. Now those are two important ones. You're not going to get as many shots in those colours, but you're certainly going to need them. Which brings me to my next point, which is the greenery. You're also going to need to find a headshot photographer that is comfortable shooting you in front of plants or in front of trees or vines. Just have some greenery in the background, because as much as it alludes to you being a grounded individual and at one with nature, and it also suggests subliminally money And, you know, it's saying that I'm ready for success and that I am successful. And that, you know, it's just good to have green there to allude to the money. And also green, if you've got the green eyes, even blue eyes, green really brings those out. So that's another positive. So yeah, look, most headshot photographers, most good ones, are going to take you into a city. They're going to take you down an alleyway, and they're going to put you up against a wall, maybe a brick wall or some sort of cobble, some sort of artistic fabric behind you, some sort of cobble wall, and they're going to shoot you right there. Now, that sounds a little bit dangerous because they're shooting you, but rest assured, a professional headshot photographer isn't going to cause any damage. But now, obviously, choosing the right headshot photographer is important because, as I said, they're going to want to soften your face, and they do that to give you an age bracket, to heighten your age bracket, so you know that you can play a wider range of roles. Personally, for me, my age bracket that I'm working for, that's legitimate for me to work for, is from 14 to 44. You know, so that I can play those young, up-and-coming, young teenage roles, which I'm available for, and also the 44-year-old dad who's maybe going through a really bad divorce and maybe losing everything along the way. So that's my age bracket, and they'll do that by whitening the face, really softening it so it's a really soft image. You can't really see any details, and so that you look nice, bright, and fresh and young. And but you know that's a good headshot photographer. But also you really want to look around the different people in your industry that are probably going for the same roles as you. See who they've got headshots from and really go there, because you really want to fit in and blend in. You don't want to stand out. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but you really want to look like you've gone and got your headshots from the same people, the same person that other successful people have got from. So, you know, it's actually a positive to all look exactly the same. And quite often when they highlight that face and soften that image, everyone kind of does start to look the same, which is a good thing. But you also need to stand out within that. And that can be fabulous too when you do that. And that's why it's important to make sure your photographer is also willing to go down the alley and shoot you, but also go into the country and shoot you in front of some trees. And just, you know, just go on a shooting spree in front of trees and plants and greenery. I guess this brings me to my next point, which is choosing the right headshot photographer, and that is, it's important because even if you essentially want to get with the headshot photographer that has the most expensive headshots, because even if they're not that good, even if the headshot photographer isn't as good as other headshot photographers, if they're more expensive and more people have gone with them, it gives off an energy of availability that other headshots don't. It also says to the agents that you're probably going to be willing to bribe later down the track, that you're willing to give them money in order to represent you. It also gives off, you know, it just gives you an essence that maybe at some point down the track you're going to be more likely to be okay with being exploited than other people, and that can really get you in the door. Being available, looking like, you know, you're okay and you don't mind being exploited can be a really good thing for your career and for your success. So the more expensive your headshots are, the more generic, the more likely they're going to be successful for you, and that's really interesting. So there you go, guys. That's all the information I have on headshots. I hope you go out there and get shot fabulously and look great while you're doing it, wearing your blues and greens and sometimes your browns and greens and blacks. And also I would recommend maybe also, during the age of the professional athlete as an actor now, also wearing compressions, having that as another little backup there is good. Alright guys, next video is going to be about how to get success whilst looking like you don't want success. So how to look cool, look like you don't care, how to really get that arty theme going and looking really cool, and but also underneath it actually getting success through not wanting to look like you wanted success, which can be difficult, and so I'll do a little video for you guys who want to look a little bit underground and don't want to give off too much of the wanting success. Alright, great guys, great work, and remember to smile.